Hey everyone, welcome. Happy New Year. It is 2024, Mike. It's almost been a year since I have been with Mission Global, a full year, and let me tell you, I am passionate about what I do. Mike, I'll let you introduce yourself. By the way,
Mhm.
my name is Jesh. I'm a mobilization lead. If you don't know,
Yep, I am the man in the beard. I am Mike Martin. I am a mobilization associate.
mobilization. Here's a quote, by the way, that I just absolutely love. And the quote is mobilization is activating God's people into their specific and important role in the Great Commission. So this month, we're talking
Mhm.
about mobilization, seeing you activated in your role in God's mission, because we all have a part to play. When we think about missions, sometimes I feel like we segment it maybe to
Mhm.
a specific time of the year, missions month, whatever it may be. And I used to honestly kind of walk into that and believe that to some degree. But as I operate more in my role, exactly what me and you are passionate about doing, seeing people operate in their role in God's mission is actually a lifestyle.
Yeah, I think it's important for us to have a world Christian view, and that means we have a global vision, and the local church is a part of that global vision. Of course, we want
Yep.
to minister in our local communities, but we need to see that as part of the what God is doing in the whole world. One of my favorite verses in the Bible is Habakkuk 2:14. It
Mm,
talks about how God will fill the earth of the knowledge of his glory, like the waters cover the sea. And
yep.
that's the agenda that God is on. He wants all people, all nations to know him. And our local church is just a part of that. And so that world Christian view is seeing unreached people around the world that have never heard about who Jesus is. And it's prioritizing those things and making sure that we're doing something to see the kingdom increase throughout the world.
When we think about mobilizing and being mobilized into God's mission, we understand that this is, like we just said, this is not something that's segmented. But if we
Mhm.
go back to the Bible, we see God's heart, his missional heart, all the way from Genesis into Revelation. And sometimes we get focused on the Great Commission verses, which are absolutely essential. They're important. In fact, that was the last thing that Jesus said before he was lifted up. Genesis chapter 12, you're looking at the Abrahamic covenant. Promises are made to Abraham. But right under, there's a purpose clause. Be a blessing so that all the earth can get to know who Jesus is. They get to see God through us. Now, you might be saying, okay, Josh, that's awesome. Well, that might be only for Abraham. Jesus was the fulfillment of that Abrahamic covenant, giving access for all people to get to know him. And guess what? Galatians chapter 3, it actually says that we are heirs of this promise as well. So we're heirs of the promise. We get to walk into the promise, but for the purpose of seeing all nations, tribes, tongues, people, exactly like it says in Revelation at the end, all worshiping, praising God, getting to know him.
Yeah, and you
So,
know what? That's like a all hands on deck kind of thing, right? Like
yeah.
it's like in an army, you got a front line and you got people in the front line, but for every person on the front line, you got two or three people behind them supporting them
Yep.
and helping them. And so I think we all have a part to play in this, Josh. Like not everybody's going to be able to go, but we can all pray or we can give
Yep.
just to be a part of seeing God's glory fill the earth.
Mike, you just talked about prayer, and I think prayer is absolutely vital. So there's a link down below. You can actually partner. You can see the prayer requests. It's a prayer newsletter for specific people groups. We're being strategic while we pray for specific people groups so that they can know who Jesus is, that more global workers will be sent out. So that's one way that you can do that here today, now. And there's also the aspect, Mike, you said not everyone can go. And we're talking
Mhm.
about maybe that long term aspect of being a full time global worker. What are some of the ways someone can go?
With Mission Global, we have lots of different ways of going and being involved in what God's doing around the world. We have the normal long term approach to that, or
Yep.
the short term with a short term trip, which is really good to get out there and see what God is doing, or the
Absolutely.
midterm global volunteer for a few months, go over and help somebody else out. Or another thing is global professionals in this global economy. There's ways of going overseas and living there and working there and earning a
Yeah.
salary, and
Yeah.
then being involved in the community and sharing Jesus with a lot of people who don't know in those parts of the world.
And part of what we do is that we want to walk alongside you. We want to journey with you through this whole process. Maybe right now you felt like there's a little tug, or you feel like, you know what, I think I am called to go global. Mike, what is a resource? I know you have
Mhm,
one, you've been
mhm.
using this. In fact, there's actually a course that you are going to be doing.
Yeah, this is a course called Explore, and it's basically just an overview of what the need is in the world and what God is doing in the world and how the world is changing, and just kind of seeing our place in God's overall mission. It's actually the World Christian series, so it's this is exactly
There
what
you
I'm
go.
talking about, is getting that world Christian view.
If you have any questions, or you heard about some of the resources, if you want more details, we would love for you to email us at goglobal@paoc.org, or you can follow our social media in Facebook and Instagram. It's Go Global Mobilization. Message us there as well if you want more help, or you're thinking about going global and you have some questions. We would love to journey with you to see you walk in your role in what God has called you to do and go global. We're excited for you. 2024 is going to be a good year. Until next time, this is Mike and Jesh. We will see you.